Hello again folks, and welcome to Black Bear Outdoors. Today we've got a bit of a treat for you and a first for our channel, since this is the first time that we're looking at a rifle chambered in .22 long rifle. Now I am of course talking about the GSG-16. German sport guns, or GSG out of Germany, have been making quality clones of famous and very popular firearms in .22 long rifle. You know, there are things like 1911s, SIGs, all kinds of things like that, and none probably more popular than the MP5. Now they have made quite a few different versions of the MP5 clones, and this is just the latest iteration of it. It's got some additional rails and things like that. Now, as far as semi-automatic .22s, they are very picky sometimes around what ammo they would like to cycle. So that's how we thought we would test this one today. So, true to old form, we'll take it inside, take a closer look at it, and show you what exactly it's got on it, what it offers you as a shooter, and then we'll take it outside and pump some rounds downrange and see what actually will cycle or what won't cycle. Now, we know from previous shooting that there's one that wouldn't. It's the CCI Quiet at 710 feet per second. The round is just not powerful enough to cycle the action. All right, folks, so stay tuned. All right, folks, let's take a close-up look at the GSG on the table here. You can probably already see the MP5 heritage just by looking at it. Okay, we'll start at the muzzle end and we'll end at the buttstock, and we'll run through the features for you quickly. Right, so at the muzzle end, you're going to see it's got what looks like a suppressor. It's not an actual suppressor. It's just really a barrel shroud, or a faux suppressor as they call it. It's really got no function in regards to dampening the sound or anything like that. It literally just covers the 16¼ inch pencil barrel that's underneath there, and it's pretty, so it looks good. Alright, you'll notice that the handguard here is a bit different from the actual MP5. This one's got a quad rail system on there, so which means it's got a top rail and it's got more rails on the 3, 6, and 9 position, so it's going to go all around the handguard. It's Picatinny style rails that are polymer, and they are attached, according to the literature, I cannot confirm this because I haven't removed these yet, to an M-LOK system. Now, again, like I said, they are polymer, so I wouldn't recommend putting a heavy scope on there or anything. You know, a little rimfire scope should be fine, or in our case, we've got our very, very trusty Vortex Spark AR on there. Love those. This one's been on this rifle, it's been on an AR, it's been on an X95 Tavor, it's been on a 12 gauge semi-auto, and it's worked like a charm every single time. Love those. We'll probably do a video on that, but something like that would be fine. You know, haven't had any issues with it, even though it does have a polymer rail. You'll notice that this is a cut there for the charging handle, because that one is ambidextrous as well, so you can pull it out on this side and stick it on this end for yourself if you prefer charging it with the other hand. Now this is a pretty cool piece for me. It does have the charging handle similar to the HK MP5 that you can pull back and lock up like that, and then you get to do the HK slap to charge your firearm. Now you'll see me manipulating the firearm in all kinds of directions, pulling the trigger, so forth. Just so you know, we always clear it beforehand, designate the safe directions, and make sure that there's no ammo around. Just a little admin-y thing there. Alright, so you'll notice that the trigger will not engage if there's not a mag in it. So it comes with 2 of these 22 round mags, which is pretty awesome, and you do get a 110 round drum if you want to go rimfire Rambo on yourself, right? So you insert the mag as such, and what I love is it's got the MP5 battle release there, so it makes it ambidextrous as well, right? And I quite like that that functionality of it. There is also a battle release, a mag release button there, but I don't see many people using that actually with the paddle. Alright, so let's show you the trigger real quick. Nice thing about the trigger is it is adjustable. Once you break the rifle down, you'll see that there's a little screw that you can tighten or loosen to adjust the weight of the trigger pull, right? So let's show you what it's like. It's not too bad for what it is, you know, it's got some slop, but the trigger pull itself is quite crisp actually. So yeah, that's the trigger on it. Quite like it. Alright, and the safety selector on this is a safety selector, of course. On the actual MP5 it'll be a select fire or fire selector, or whatever you want to call it, which would move it from safe to fire to auto. This one is just safe and fire, so it's actually just a safety. It's also ambidextrous, sits in a kind of a strange place, but that's because it sits in the same place in the MP5, and I have to adjust my grip to get to it, but that's not a big deal at all. You'll notice that it is chambered for 22 long rifle high velocity. Now you can kind of understand that because you want enough oomph in the rimfire cartridge to cycle the action and to get the bolt back to pick up the next round. So you want a kind of a warm round. But we will put that to the test. We're going to see what it can actually deal with, right? It might be an interesting little test. We'll do that straight after this. Now, what it also has is a telescopic stock here. It's the 3 positions. Right, and I actually quite like this. It's polymer, but it feels very, very sturdy. It doesn't feel flimsy or it's going to break it or anything like that. And the stock is actually one of the coolest things about this rifle. And I know it's kind of silly, but I love this idea, right? So what'll happen is you'll have your 22 rounds. Pretend there's rounds in there. In your mag there, and you have your spare 22 round mag that you can actually store in the buttstock. So you can be walking around the field hunting gophers with 44 rounds on the actual rifle. And that, I think, is pretty cool. So breaking it down is very simple as well. You're going to need a screwdriver for that and an Allen key. So you take down 2 screws, take the buttstock off, and then these 2 separate. There is a little bit of a niggle that I do have with that because there is a metal bolt stop at the back here that you have to take out so you can remove the bolt and clean that, right? Now, getting it back in for me personally was a bit of a chore, but I'm sure with a bit of practice you can get it in pretty quickly. Just a little pet peeve there. Other than that, this thing is pretty awesome. The sights that it comes with, I gotta tell you about these. So they are polymer as well. And it comes with a big one installed, a big aperture. I hope you can see that on camera. Now I put the little one in there, and it's got a tiny little screw there that you have to remove to pull this one out and put the new one in, and it is adjustable. And just be careful, there is a little clamp on this side that you can very easily lose if you're not aware of where it is while you're taking that out. The front sight posts are also polymer, but here is a huge thumbs up for GSG. They sent us this little baggie with the rifle, which is chock full of different front sight posts. So you can select the ones you like, or if you want to adjust your point of impact, there's a lot of different options that you can do it with. Thumbs up for them for doing that. Really, really cool. And they even gave you like a little a dummy round and things like that too. Now, yeah, it just ships in a box with your mags and your gun and that little bag and a manual. So nothing too fancy about that, but everything you need is there. Alright guys, so let's take it outside and abuse that steel target with it a little bit and see what kind of rounds will actually cycle through it. Alright folks, here we are outside and we're going to be putting some rounds down range and to see which ones cycle and which ones don't. So let's get straight to it, and first up is going to be the CCI Stingers. I don't see any problems with those, but let's see how they go. So yeah guys, seems like they've chewed up everything that we could throw at it. Good to go. There you have it, folks. We obviously love the GSG-16. It is incredibly fun to shoot. It seems to be a quality product, and it feels like you're actually shooting an MP5, just a very, very lightweight version of it. Now, I can see the application of it. For us, this is going to be a gopher gun. 44 rounds out in the field, it's perfect. For other people, this might be something that you use on duty, like an MP5, and you can use this as a cheaper trainer. It would be a fantastic trainer for younger shooters or smaller in stature shooters and new shooters alike. And again, the fun factor is off the charts. And again, who doesn't like to do the HK slap? All right, guys, so if you enjoyed the video, if you learned something, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and hit that black bear badge on the next screen to subscribe. And we'll see you next time.